Okay, let's give you guys some more practice. So here, find the limit of this as h approaches 0 here. Okay, so the first thing you should do when you're trying to find out the limit of something is, well, put 0 into here and see if this whole thing breaks down. If you get something like 0 over 0, then you have to try a different approach. Also, when you're trying to find out the limit of something, keep an eye out for this. If you have a limit at the top and a limit at the bottom here, if whenever this thing has a limit other than 0 and this has a limit of 0, then you can say the limit does not exist. And this here is a theorem. So when you're doing limits, first thing you should do, try and plug whatever the limit is into here. If it breaks down, then try a different approach. Also keep an eye on this. And then also have a checklist here. First, keep an eye out on factorization. You might be able to factorize it. So, for example, if you try and find out the limits of this here, if you factorize it, you see when you factorize it, this thing cancels out with this. Well, keep an eye out on factorization here, and also, oops, sorry, also keep an eye out when you can multiply top and bottom by the conjugate. So, for example, if you get something like this here, hang on, it's a bit messy. Um, okay, keep an eye out on being able to multiply top and bottom by the conjugate. So when you get given something like this, you can multiply top and bottom by the conjugate of this bit here. And when you do, things will tidy itself up. Okay, and the third thing that you should look for is being able to divide by a power. So when you try and find out the limit of this, as let's say as x approaches infinity here, the trick here is to divide this by the highest power. Divide this by the highest power. Well, I've done several videos on this. So here's a checklist. Keep an eye out on being able to factorize, being able to multiply top and bottom by the conjugate, and being able to divide by a power. Here's a clue. To do this here, the clue is it's none of these three. Okay, that's a clue. So you've got to try something else. Okay, so well, anyway, find the limit of this. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this here, looking at this here, well, multiply this out. Multiply this out. So this thing here will become, well, basically, this to the power 3 is this times by itself 3 times. But then, well, multiply these two together. So this times this will give you 1, and then this times this, well, multiply this bit out will give you this thing here. Okay, and then the next step is to do this. This times this, that will give you this. This times this, that will give you this. This times this, that will give you this. And then this times this, that will give you this. This times this, that will give you this. This times this, that will give you this. And this minus 1 is right here. Okay, and then hang on. And then what? Oh yeah, and then this and this, they will kill off each other. Okay. Hang on. Oh yeah, and also here you've got h and h here, so that will give you 3h, and then you've got h squared here, h squared, 2h squared here, that will give you, and so on here. You basically simplify to become that, and then these two here will kill off each other, and then that would just leave you this thing here. And the trick here is to within the square brackets here, factorize out the h. So take the h out. So 3h will become a 3. Basically, you take factor out the h, and that will take you to here. Okay. Now, looking at this here, it's this squared brackets here multiplying to the top, because you're multiplying a fraction, so it gets multiplied to the top. So that will give you, hang on, that will give you, so basically this here, multiplying a fraction, so it gets multiplied to the top, so it becomes this, and then this would kill off this thing here, leaving you this. Now you can take the limit as x approaches 0. So you see, when h approaches 0, this term here, 3, well, it would disappear. This part here would disappear, leaving you just 3. Okay, so so the limit here is 3. Now, if you plot the graph, it will look like this. At 0, it's clearly undefined here. But as you approach it from the left-hand side, it approaches 3. You can see that here, and from the right-hand side, it will approach 3. Okay, so the limit 3. So 3 is your answer. Okay.